This is the AllPowers S700 solar generator battery pack with a 140 watt solar panel, a 4-panel solar panel, 140 watts. Let's take a look. Special thanks to AllPowers for sending me this unit. They hit me up on email. They liked my videos on Amazon. They sent me an email and they're like, hey, would you like to review our product? It's a 700 watt, which I think is the output power because it's 606 watt hours. I like to rate these solar generators slash power packs by watt hours because that gives you a more realistic, sometimes they're rated by the output watts. In other words, they'll power up to a 700 watt unit or a multiple 2 or 3 units totaling 700 watts pull all at one time. But I like to rate them by watt hour because that way we know how long they last and how big the battery actually is. Kind of, instead of amp hour, they rate them by watt hour, which is totally fine. So you just take 606, which is this one right here, divide it by 12, and you get the amp hours as opposed to the watt hours. So that's a little math for you. Hopefully that makes sense. When we started, I was at 87% on this right here. We've got, when the dog's not walking through, we've got a 4-panel solar panel, which I'll show you in a second. I took this to Quartz Fest in January, used it on my trailer. This powered my Starlink the entire week I was at Quartz Fest. So this works great. It would power the Starlink for about 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours, something like that, depending on how many people were using it and everything. There was no signal out there besides that. So it did really well, and then we plugged it in the trailer, started the generator up at night, and it got charged back up. It's at 94% right now. I've had it plugged into this panel for about right at 20 minutes. It's 2:41 in the afternoon right now. It was 2:21 in the afternoon when I started this. It was at 87%. So in 20 minutes, it's gone up 6%. You can see right there, it's about 91 watt hours right now. That meter there, you can't see it. It's really small. It says watt A. I wish this screen was a little bit brighter, but it's fine for what it is. So we've got two 110 outlets up here. It does have Bluetooth. I have not checked with that. If you long press this, it turns Bluetooth on. You got another indicator on the screen right there. Short press that, it turns DC on, so you can get the DC outlet there, the 12-volt power, the 12-volt car adapter type thing. And then it's got these USB. It's got 3 USB A's and a USB-C over here, plus DC output. These 2 barrel type connectors here. That's 2 separate barrel connectors because it comes with these adapters, so you can do multiple things with them. And then turn that off. And then if you long press this turns on the AC right there. And I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it turns on a fan inside of here. So now there's a fan running inside of it. After I long press this, it turns on these 2 AC power outlets, and now we've got full power from DC and AC. You can run both at the same time. You can run one at a time. You do have to long press the AC to get it to turn off and on. And you have to long press the Bluetooth to get it to turn off and on. So there we go. This is nice and small and compact. This is actually a little bit smaller than the 268 watt hour EcoFlow that I have. It is heavier because it's got a bigger battery in it, but it's about the same size. So as far as height and depth and width here, it's about the same size as my EcoFlow. And it's almost 3 times the watt hours as my EcoFlow. So I'm really happy with this so far. Have not tested it for RFI at this point in time. Here's what the solar panel itself comes with. The solar panel, of course, has the MC4 connectors out the back. This one here is MC4 to go into the panel with alligator clips. This one is MC4 to barrel connector, which you can actually use that here if you want to. You can input barrel connector or input power poles. And then it's got different adapters for the barrel connector, of course. And then, of course, my favorite, and your favorite too, most likely, is the actual power poles. It came with this cable. I did not build it. MC4 connectors here. Power poles there. Cable coming out of the back of the panel here. It's got 4 kickstands on it, which makes it a little bit cumbersome in my mind. The more kickstands you have, the more cumbersome it is. But it is 140 watt hours as compared to my Bioenno 100 watt hour panel, which only has 2 panels and 2 kickstands. But this one folds up to be just actually slightly smaller as far as length and width goes. It's a little bit thicker, of course, than the Bioenno, but it's actually a little bit smaller form factor. So that's a little bit more compact. You can't complain with that. Here's the stats on the back of the panel itself. And then in the back of this, we've got a barrel connector here and 2 USB A's over here and a USB-C, and then another barrel connector on both sides. And that looks like that's all there is to that. So several options for coming directly out of the panel for USB and for coming out of the MC4 with different adapter cables, whatnot. This video is brought to you by my Amazon store, where I can make affiliate commissions on qualifying items which help move this channel forward. Check the link in the description below for this specific product, which I have on my Amazon store. Like I said, this ran my Starlink at Quartz Fest. We would run the generator at night. Could have run the generator all day long if we wanted to, just didn't want to burn the fuel. So we'd run the generator at night, let the heater go, and then in the morning, I'd shut the generator off around 7:38 a.m., something like that. Starlink would run all day, and around dinner time, it might die, or it might be just good. One or 2 days, it lasted until 5:30 or 6 when I fired the generator back up again. A couple other days, it died a little bit earlier. The dogs say hi, presumably from more usage out of the Starlink at that time. But pretty happy with it. Run the Starlink pretty much all day. Have to charge it back up at night with the generator, which is exactly what I was trying to do. This whole setup right here is about $699 on Amazon. At the time of this recording, they got a 25% off coupon. Not $25, 25%. So 25% of $700 is roughly about $175. So if you're in the market for something like this might be the time to get it because of the discounts that it's running right now.